I spoke with Aaron Mate. He is the host and producer of the Real News and online news network. He's also a contributor to The Nation magazine. We started with the Venezuelan's vice president's trip to Moscow.
Well, it's clearly a sign that the standoff here over Venezuela is deepening between the U.S. and Russia, and it's dangerous. But Russia is heavily invested in Venezuela. They hold billions of dollars worth of debt, especially from Venezuela's oil company. And although their options are more limited than they were in Syria, they can't intervene militarily like they did there. Certainly this meeting today in Russia is a sign that Moscow is standing behind its ally in the face of Trump's coup attempt.
Vice President is not the only one traveling out of Venezuela. Opposition leader Juan Guaido is also traveling, this time across South America, meeting with leaders of Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay. How important is this tour for him?
Well, it's very important because the coup is not working out. I think there was an expectation by Guaido and the people around him, as well as by the White House, who really are the key forces behind this coup, that the military support for Maduro would collapse and that there would be more uproar and chaos in Venezuela than they've been able to generate. But that hasn't happened. We saw that this PR stunt with the attempt to push the aid into the country, they were trying to provoke a reaction, but that did not amount to very much. The military, as your report earlier mentioned, is still solidly behind Maduro. So really, what Guaido has left is trying to get help from the outside. And so that's why we see him touring around now and trying to act like a statesman and trying to act like his coup attempt is still going well. But clearly, on the ground in Venezuela, the government is firmly in control. The military is still with Maduro. And the government is obviously very determined to resist U.S. pressure. And whether or not the U.S. pressure continues, I think, is the real question, because as more time goes on, I think Maduro is the prime beneficiary.
You were recently in Venezuela. You were on the ground. You saw the conditions. We know that Guaido is expected to be back in the country. He says he will on Monday. Will he be able to get back in?
I obviously can't predict that. I suspect perhaps him leaving and trying to come back is, I wouldn't be surprised if that's part of a PR ploy, because again, at this point, that's really all they can do is try to stage PR stunts that can gin up international support for increased pressure on Maduro or possibly even intervention, military intervention by the U.S. And so how Maduro handles that is anyone's guess. Clearly, when I was there, Maduro was giving rallies in Caracas. Tens of thousands of people were there. He was referring to Maduro with an expletive, and he was not arrested then. So, that might portend a safe return for Guaido, but it's anyone's guess. And certainly, as this goes on and as the standoff deepens, there's no doubt that provocations will continue.